perspective, who are the people that are seeking ketamine treatment and how do you reach them?
Absolutely, and it's a really great question because people who are suffering from mental health disorders, a lot of them suffer in silence. So a lot of times you don't know who it could be. It could be anybody. And really, when you look at growing your practice, because everybody up here is interested in not only growing their individual companies, but the whole field, marketing needs to be a big part of that. And because this is still such an unknown, we want to maybe replace the word marketing with awareness and education. And so the approach that we take with our private clinics is, how do we get people aware of this type of treatment, and how do we make it compelling so that they can raise their hand and say, hey, this is something I'm interested in, without feeling that it's going to be a bad experience. So having a clinic set up the right way, that first person, that first touch is so important. Somebody needs to be both medically minded, but also trained well to be able to work with people, to be able to handle objections. So not only do you have to have that part dialed in, but video. Video is a great way to reach people. So there are some ketamine clinics here I know that have great video content. You have to be careful online with big tech. Using ketamine, using cannabis, you could get totally blacklisted, which is not good. So video is a really great way to educate people. A lot of people suffering from depression are insomniacs, so you can run video 24/7, but you don't know who is suffering. So by exposing your whole geographical area to the right video content is an approach that we take that works really well with our ketamine clinics.
Breathing and the exercise and all the things that help us keep feeling good. That this ketamine isn't just a replacement antidepressant. And so I'm wondering, how do we communicate with people as a communicator? How do we continue to destigmatize? Sometimes I wish we could change the name of ketamine to something else. But anyway, how do we continue to destigmatize it and get people over to understanding that this is part of a holistic wellness program?
Absolutely, and that would be great too, big tech wise, to be able to explicitly say that on platforms like Facebook and Google as well. But I'm going to lean into what I was talking about earlier. You need to have a part of your growth plan, budget, allocated to education and awareness. And video is going to work best. There are some clinics here today that we work with that have amazing video content, and it makes our job super easy. So I think if everybody here is willing to take a stand, and time and money follow all commitments. So if you're willing to put the time and effort and the money behind getting high value video production made, and then being able to either yourself or work with a trusted partner who can get that message out effectively, that's going to be one of the most important ways to continue to propagate ketamine and these new alternatives. The other thing is, Tony Robbins talks about there are 5 core functions to growing your business. There's lead generation, there's lead nurture, there's conversion, there's delivery, and then there's upsell or referral. So number one, I wouldn't start a business unless you had really great delivery. And that's what some of these amazing medical professionals are talking about, the quality of the delivery of the actual ketamine and the research. And so what's really important too is to be very, very intentional about how you generate a lead and how you nurture a lead. So referral is the best, right? Because if you have a good reputation and you have a good online presence and you have a good business, referrals are going to carry you a long way. The only problem with referrals is they're not always predictable. Maybe you have 20 new patients one month from referrals, you have 5 the next month. So that's great, but it's not as predictable. And so when you're really intentional, every single person who inquires about your service, about ketamine, about how you can help them, to be super, super intentional in that lead nurture process. What are we saying to them? How are we communicating with them? Again, video, text. We use text in a HIPAA compliant environment with our private clinics. And really meeting the patient where they're at, and then having the right team.